going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rewind Smacked Raw show where RN and myself run down the latest week in wrestling. My name is Kyle Tyson. How's everybody doing?
What's up, boss man?
Oh, RN, dude, I gotta tell you, man, I have got the worst fucking headache. I shouldn't be cussing this early into the show. God knows, man, I mixed a sugary canned alcoholic beverage last night with a glass of wine, and I am paying for it dearly today.
Yeah, that was not smart.
Yes.
Can't mix sugar with it. It's over.
Bama says, see, this is why I'm the professional one. Oh, about our botched intro. Yeah, that's a treat for you guys on the live stream. Give us a follow over on twitch.tv/SmackedRaw, where you can see me just butcher our production on a daily basis. We are only, I think, 7 away from our goal of 100 Twitch followers. So if you get a chance, man, if you're watching this on YouTube, of course, like and subscribe to the video too as well. But head on over to Twitch, give us a follow, help us reach our goal by Halloween. And yeah, you'll never miss out on a live stream where you can just catch me, just like I said, botch after botch. But it's all good fun, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. RN, what a week in wrestling we've had. So we have, in this last week alone, it almost feels like one of the big 4 weeks because we got 2 pay-per-views in the same week.
Right.
So on top of, the usual 4 or 5 shows that we have, Raw, NXT, Dynamite, Rampage, and SmackDown, we also had Crown Jewel and Bound for Glory. Did you have a chance to check out either of the pay-per-views?
Yeah, I watched Crown Jewel. I didn't get a chance to check out Bound for Glory.
Yeah, I tuned in. Me and Bama, we recorded our ranking of all the SmackDown draft picks. By the way, that'll go up on Tuesday. You'll be able to catch out that video. And while you're waiting, you can always go ahead head on over to YouTube and check out RN and my ranking video of all the Raw draft picks. But yeah, we got done recording that video, and I went to catch the replay of Dynamite, and I saw Bound for Glory was on. I didn't even know. But I tuned in, and it was awesome. It was actually a really, really fun show. We had the return of the Inspiration, which that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
You saw they reunited, and they captured the Knockouts Tag Team Championship. And then the X Division title changed hands. I think they had like 4 title changes on that show, man. It was pretty dope.
Well, actually, the X Division title was vacant.
It was vacant, excuse me. We saw 4 new champions. Yeah, on the show. It was good, man.
Did Josh Alexander win?
So yeah, so internet's kind of in a myth right now. Him and Christian had a slam bang match. Eventually made Christian tap out for the win, but earlier in the night they did their take on like the Royal Rumble, which the winner gets to challenge any championship. And the winner ended up being Moose. And as Alexander was celebrating with his family in the ring, Moose came down, hit him with the spear, cashed in his win from earlier that night, and Moose is actually Impact champion.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, man.
Damn it, bro. I shouldn't even ask. I've been waiting on Josh Alexander to be the champ forever. That's my guy.
Yeah, it was a classic case, in my opinion, of overthinking it, because they could have ended. It was a really good feel-good moment. They could have ended on that, and it would have been a great pay-per-view. But they had to get at least one more swerve in there at the end. Yeah, and Moose came out, ended up winning. I'm fresh with all of these wrestlers. I haven't watched Impact in ages, so I don't know how to feel. I do know that Josh Alexander?
Yeah.
I know that he's been working his ass off. I see him on Twitter all the time getting to that title picture. So heartbroken for the man.
Well, he was the X Division champion, and they have the Plan C thing where you can turn in the X Division title and get an automatic shot at the World Championship. So that's why the X Division title was vacated.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Did Trey Miguel win that match?
Yeah, I forget the guy's name. We'll look it up really quick, and then you guys, if you're in the live chat, yeah, let us know the name of the wrestler that won the X Division championship.
It had to have been Trey Miguel. If it was anybody else, they fucked up.
Bound for Glory results. So let's see here. Yeah, Jordan Grace. She won the Digital Media Championship, which was pretty cool. I went back and watched that. It was only like 5 minutes though. It was like super short. So El Phantasmo, Steve Macklin, and Trey Miguel, and Trey Miguel won. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was saying he had to win. If he didn't win, they fucked up.
Yeah. No, that was fun. That was actually right when I tuned in. So everything that happened before that match, I missed out on.
Yeah, he used to be in the Little Rascals with MSK.
Yeah, I think I heard him allude to that during the broadcast. Violent by Design, I guess like Eric Young's new faction. They took on Heath Slater and a mystery tag team partner. Ended up being Rhino. I didn't realize that, Rhino had gone down this path. But yeah, they had like a nice touching reuniting moment.
Rhino was a part of Violent by Design, and he cost them a match. So Eric Young's been like torturing him, just fucking him up for like the past month or so, or whatever. And Heath came out to try and help him and got fucked up. And you know how that storyline kind of goes.
Yeah. So they did give me like a good little rundown.
Right.
Yeah, they were essentially they were beating up Rhino, and Heath came out. However, Rhino refused to take allegiance with anybody, and yeah, he finally showed up at the end of the match. You know what's crazy about this? This all stems back to the I've Got Kids story in WWE from 5 years ago.
Literally.
Where Heath Slater's job was on the line. He had to win a title, and him and Rhino were actually the first tag team champions of the current brand split era over on SmackDown. Yeah, man, that's nuts. That little essentially C-level story angle in WWE still has legs all these years later now in a different promotion.
Right. Well, Heath just came back too, like a month ago. Like he's been gone for a while.
Yeah. I love Heath to death. I love his character. I cannot get over his voice though. There's just something about when that man talks. Like I just want to change the channel. I love Heath to death though. I'm not trying to take a dig at him. I don't know. I really don't know. Oh man. Yeah, they ended up winning. It was honestly like the worst match out of all the ones I watched. It was more of a moment than a match.
Right. Well, I mean, who all was in it?
So it was Joe, what's his name? Joe Doring and Diener. Eric Young was on the outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was essentially a handicap match for the majority of the match until the very end, when Rhino came in for the save.
Did Deonna Purrazzo win?
Yeah, so that's the other thing people are upset about is Mickie James won in a
what?
Yeah, dude, in a really good match though. It was
Deonna Purrazzo was fucking raw. Like WWE is like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking letting her go.
Yeah, so the match was fantastic. I'm with no exaggeration. It was definitely my favorite match of the night. You could toss it between that one and the main event with Christian and Josh Alexander.
Right.
But no, they told a great story. They had a great video package prior that caught me up on this really long feud that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they killed it, man. They both had so many near falls. Like Deonna Purrazzo was kicking out of Mickey's DDT. Mickie James kicked out of Purrazzo's pile driver that she does. And yeah, Mickie ended up winning with I'm not gonna lie, the tornado DDT didn't look the strongest, and that was what put her away. But my thing is like we're 6 months removed from Mickie James was kicked out of fired, had her belongings sent to her in a trash bag, right? and everybody got up all in arms about how, and quite honestly, WWE completely misused Mickie James on her last run.
Right.
They did not cash in on her legendary status. And so there was this uproar that Mickie deserves better. We finally get her to get better. Like, they go over and she wins the title in Impact. And then people start pissing and moaning about this. I don't get it.
I mean, honestly, because she hasn't really been wrestling.
Yeah.
And she's been kind of like in an authoritative role over in EWA and a couple other places. Like, and Deonna Purrazzo's been on the roll. Like, she's been annihilating people. Like, I'm not happy about the win either. I mean, they've had some good matches and they got killer fucking chemistry, but I feel like it just goes back to the TNA, the old tread thing, going back to old people. Like, there were so many other women on the roster that would have boosted from beating Purrazzo, and then you just give it to Mickie James. So I completely understand the internet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that she got, at least another good title run in her. Another championship victory, because she can't be too far off from retirement, like official retirement.
She can go still, like, for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, this storyline really hasn't been that long. It's been going on since right before that, the Empower. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it was, I don't know. I definitely am on the internet side on this one. I don't think she should have beat her.
Yeah. I liked it though. Like I said, it was like my favorite match of the night. What's it called here? The Call Your Shot match is, I guess this is a reoccurring match that Impact does. Essentially, it's a Royal Rumble that the final two participants have a singles match.
Yeah.
And you win by pin or submission. So some of the names that appeared in this, I'll get your reaction. So, for one, it started off with the second participant was, oh God, what's his name? Where are you? Where's the rundown of it? He's a New Japan. Rocky Romero, excuse me. Rocky Romero was the first surprise entrance, and he was entrance number 2. Melina made a surprise appearance in the match,
Right.
And then, believe it or not, first time wrestling since I think 2003, Kiss Demon made an appearance.
Yikes.
And it's I forget the guy's name. But it's the same guy playing him. It wasn't like they just dressed somebody up. No, it's the original guy.
All right, I feel a little bit better about it then.
Yeah, man. It was surreal. Just seeing this guy come out of nowhere. But yeah, Kiss Demon came back. Matt Cardona was in it, along with Big Cass. Big Cass was in it too, man. But like I said, ultimately, Moose won. And then, like I said, cashed in later in the evening. Dude, for such a prestigious match, their trophy is like just this dinky little trophy, man. It's
not as prestigious as you think it is.
Oh, okay. I was like, looks like the Impact, instead of, it blew their budget on the Kiss Demon instead of investing in a better trophy for the winner.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. There, I mean, you had a tag match as well. The Good Brothers, they retained their titles in a 3-way tag match between Finjuice and Bullet Club's Chris Bay and Hikuleo.
Right.
Yeah. Apparently, Bound for Glory was the official ending of the working partnership between AEW and Impact.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I've seen people reporting that, but it was like not clear on does it go through the end of the month, or was it the pay-per-view, or what?
From what I gathered, it was the pay-per-view. That was the last day.
Well, let's be honest. What was the point of it, and who did it really help?
I mean, I honestly just think it was a way to reunite Bullet Club, just to get the Good Brothers on AEW television. They're the only ones that consistently jumped between programs. Also,
and that's the thing, it wasn't even Bullet Club though, because they had Switchblade and Chris Bay and them join the actual Bullet Club, so it wasn't even that. It was,
well, I mean, more or less the elite, super elite, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's another reason people believe is why Christian dropped the belt, is because Christian will just be exclusive to AEW now.
It should it made no sense for anybody. Like he didn't even beat a TNA guy for the fucking belt. Like that's the part. Like I thought it was. I feel like
because he beat Kenny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
they didn't have a presence on AEW except for somebody carrying around the belt. Like I think it was completely pointless for them. Like it was the Forbidden Door sounded good and all, like in theory, but the execution of it was fucking terrible. At least on Impact side.
At least with the Impact side, they're doing pretty good with the New Japan stuff.
Right.
Yeah, they're having guys come over and have banger matches with like Moxley.
Right.
Over that U.S. title. I think yeah, they're handling the New Japan partnership, I think, a lot better. So Crown Jewel, man, let's talk about that a bit. It was a good show.
Yeah, awesome show.
Yeah, it's weird. We set our expectations just to be like, if nothing terrible happens on it, it's a good show.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. This might have been their best pay-per-view of the year, honestly.
That's what some people I hear saying. Which is unfortunate because now don't get me wrong, when I say like the Saudi shows are terrible, I am of course speaking about because it's propaganda for the regime.
Right.
Yeah. The people showing up and cheering, which by the way, hats off to the Saudi crowd that night.
Oh, that was gonna be my take from the entire thing, was how hot that fucking crowd was, especially during the main event. Like that was, I'm gonna be honest with you, that might have been the best crowd they've had all year. Honestly, like they were in every single match. There wasn't any, like, even after starting out with that Hell in the Cell, like there was no drop off from that fucking crowd. They were ready to go. They came ready to watch some wrestling. That was probably one of the most impressive crowds all year for any show, not just WWE, for AEW as well.
Yeah, one second. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. All right, I guess it went away.
So yeah, like I said, top to bottom, every match was fire. Like I can't remember even the Goldberg shit, which I completely didn't agree with the decision, but
I lost $5 on that match.
Right, that was probably Goldberg's best match he's had in WWE.
I bet my coworker that match was going to be under 5 minutes, and I lost some money on that.
Yeah. I picked Lashley. I don't know why I was that fucking dumb. I should have picked Goldberg. The old guys always win there. Old guys and Mansoor are locked to win it.
At Crown Jewel, yeah. Oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah,
Mansoor is literally the only person that's ever won in his hometown in the history of WWE.
Yeah, exactly. It's I wanted to crack. I mean, you know what it cost? It cost a shitload of blood money for a babyface to win in his hometown. That's what it costs, man, to get those victories. Yeah, Mansoor and Ali was a good match.
Yeah.
I love that they try to do like shock appearances at these things, and
nobody knows who they are.
Nobody knows who it is.
Like the crowd knew once he unrobed, but
yeah,
the announcers and everybody were just like, oh, they were like, oh, someone like, no, you don't. No one knows who the fuck that is.
No one knows. Now I didn't know who it was looking at him, but when they described who he was, I knew who he was because I saw the highlight. This dude's in a karate, like in the karate Olympics, like the Olympics for karate.
Yeah,
and he got disqualified for knocking out his opponent, which is one of the silliest things. Like you're in a combat sport,
right?
And you get disqualified when you do damage. It makes no sense. But yeah, man. No, that Hell in a Cell was really good. Do you think that's it for Edge and Seth Rollins?
No, because they both got drafted to Raw. Like, yeah. I don't think Edge should have won. I hate how they always put these, but like I said, it was Saudi, so the old guys are going to go over. But like, it made no sense to me. Like, now if Edge is going to have a full-time schedule, okay, I think it's a easier pill to swallow. But if he's still going to be just like part-time like that, like why would you put Seth down like that? And you're moving him over to a new show, and Edge is on the show with him. So like you kind of knocked him down a peg. Like I didn't get it. Like I loved the match though. Like don't get me wrong, the match was awesome. Yeah. Edge looked fucking phenomenal. but like it just didn't make sense for Seth to lose.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, Edge is the baby face.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was a weird one because they dabbled on Seth Rollins going too far.
Right.
But they didn't really cross that line like fully.
Edge crossed the line though. That's the thing. Like the babyface. I told you they don't know how to book it. They don't know how to book heels and babyface. Like Edge crossed the line and went way further than Seth did. You know what I'm saying? Like throughout the fucking match. He's the one that introduced the weapons first, everything. But that chain spot was dope though. Him wrapping the chain around his foot.
Around his foot, doing that kick.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was pretty good, man. That was pretty good. Bama says he believes it's going to come down to an I Quit match. No, because you can't have. I guess you could have Edge quit, not out of like fear for his own safety, but like you get Beth in the mix,
right?
Which would make sense because of Seth Rollins, like just like doing his MTV Cribs skit at Edge's house. Which that was weird, man. That was weird. He didn't do anything. He just walked through the house. He ate an apple. He put the worst thing he did was like he kicked his feet up on the furniture and like dropped the apple on his carpet. Like, I don't know. Like WWE can be so close to something great and just still turn it out to be bland.
Right. Should have went in there at least like went into Beth's closet or his closet, something like
tore up his kids' drawings.
Yeah, something like ripped it like on the refrigerator, just ripped the drawings on the refrigerator, something like
man.
Something like it. Yeah, it. In theory, it was good, but like the execution of it was fucking terrible.
Oh man, you had Riddle come out on a camel. That was
fantastic.
Which I expected. Jeez Louise, man, the dude.
I just hate it when they come out with the guys holding. I want that motherfucker to come out just behind the ring.
He's just being a jockey.
Just fucking ride that camel all the way around the thing and everything. Like, it's no fun when it's like a fucking petting zoo and there's a guy like walking the camel. Yeah.
So I mean, none of this show had any consequence.
Oh, we didn't talk about the main thing: Big E versus Drew, which is probably the match of the week for me.
Oh yeah, all right, let's throw it up there. Match of the week: Big E versus Drew McIntyre. There it is. I have to go back and watch. I watched it, but I think I was driving home, so I couldn't like fully pay attention to it. I was more or less listening.
Fucking fire. And I guess the thing I was most impressed about is how big they were and like how they still look like they probably could have went like another hour. Like even after everything they went through and like they was two big men slapping meat. They were tearing each other the fuck up.
Yeah. And that's what I heard was instead of making the match convoluted with like story and stuff like that, they just let the guys go out and just have a great match.
Oh yeah, and the way they were tossing each other around too, like even how Drew was tossing Big E around, like even though we think of how big he is, but we keep forgetting that man's 300 pounds, and Drew was literally flinging him around the fucking ring like it was nothing, and vice versa. Big E was tossing Drew's ass around. I don't think I've seen, even when he was going against Roman and Braun, like I don't think anybody tossed Drew around like Big E did. And he was like, how he was picking him up to do the big ending, like it was literally like he was picking up Rey Mysterio. Like there was no like effort. He literally just picked that big motherfucker up, had him up on his chest. Like it was definitely my match of the week by far.
Yeah, I'll definitely go back and watch it more because, like I said, I could only look at it like on during like stoplights and shit. So I do feel bad I missed out on that. I did catch the winners of the Queen's Crown and the King of the Ring. Congratulations to Zelina Vega and Xavier Woods, man. You know, oh my gosh, dude. Xavier Woods waits his whole life to win King of the Ring, and he couldn't get the cape on, man.
Right. And I think Zelina Vega and Doudrop, like that match was way better than it had any reason to be. But I felt like they rushed it. Like I feel like if they had given him some more time, they could have told a better story.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, they weren't gonna let two women matches, go like full on. So obviously the Zelina Vega and Doudrop one was fairly short. It was weird, Doudrop playing kind of heelish, like just the whole "I'm bigger than you."
Right.
That was kind of like an odd thing, but I still think the right people won with Zelina and Xavier Woods.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like, I definitely am eating my own words though. I'll have to pull up a soundbite of me going on, because when I did the rewind last week by myself, I probably did like 2 or 3 minutes on why I thought Xavier Woods wouldn't even make it to the finals. So I was way off on my prediction. Yeah, I claimed that Jinder was gonna win the whole thing.
My thing is like, what are they gonna do with it? Is it just gonna end up being a pointless thing?
I think I think that was WWE rewarding Xavier.
Yeah, absolutely, it was. Like, I know that, but I mean, like, are they going to use it to springboard him into something, or
like, even if it's just another accolade for him in the New Day, and
right?
Because I mean, he's still a tag team wrestler. Him and Kofi, they're definitely not. You know, they're not going to go on to like singles runs. They're SmackDown is in. I'm making the bold prediction. SmackDown's going to be a tag team heavy show. They really invested in their tag teams.
They can't be. Remember when we went over most of the tag teams with the fucking Raw.
No, my friend. Me and Bama, we went over it, and they have a ton of tag teams on SmackDown.
I gotta go watch. I gotta watch the video, or send me the list you guys have.
Well, yeah.
So everybody.
You've got Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Right. You have the Viking Raiders. You've got Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. You have Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, although they might not be a tag team. Jinder Mahal and Shanky. The Usos. Technically, you got Shinsuke and Boogs. And then also, you got Hit Row. And if the story is going where I think it is, I think Ali and Mansoor are going to be a face tag team once the Mansoor like fully gets Ali's respect. So I mean, yeah, they got a ton. They have a ton of teams.
Yeah, that's fucking 10 teams.
Yeah,
shit.
Man. Yeah, no, you were right though. It was kind of I didn't think about it till I was shooting it with Bama. We were like, damn, there's a ton of teams on SmackDown.
And watch me find some way to fuck this up.
I know. Watch me just put my foot in my mouth all over again, saying that SmackDown's going to be a tag team show. When has WWE ever been a tag team heavy program since the Dudleys and Hardys and all them?
Well, then on top of that, who knows these idiots? Who knows what teams are even going to last? They draft them as a tag team and then break them up fucking a month into their tenure. So
yeah,
that's my thing. Is like all those teams you mentioned, probably about 5 of them. There's a chance they won't be a tag team by the end of the year or this time next year.
Bama says he thinks that Xavier, either one of two things: either it's going to go to his head, or it'll get him to a championship match, and he can be fed to Roman Reigns.
Right. Well, not even that. Even if they don't want to go, at least put him in the fucking Intercontinental title range.
Yeah. Because it's crazy to think, but that King of the Ring win is literally Xavier Woods' first singles accolade in WWE. Literally. He has no accolades as a singles competitor outside of that King of the Ring win. No. Yeah.
That part blew me. I'm like, damn, really?
Oh man. And then I think the last big story of the show is definitely going to be the Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns stuff that's going on. They were having a good match. It's weird seeing babyface Brock Lesnar, but I loved it.
Right. He doesn't get enough credit for how much shit he really can do. Like,
yeah,
he's an all-around fucking performer. There's a reason why, and I think people sometimes forget that because he's gone so much and all the bullshit around him going and coming. But like, there's no heavyweight that sells better than him. I don't give a shit what anybody says. And if he wants to be entertaining, that motherfucker, because he's so big and goofy, when he does something, you're like, you forget the shit that he can really do. Like when he was doing the boom box with the fucking Money in the Bank and stuff and everything. Like, There's a reason why he's the top guy. We love Roman, and Roman is technically the top guy, but the man is and forever until he decides not to be is fucking Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and also, I heard a really good story about him and Ricochet, which shows how, like, honestly, like, brilliant Lesnar can be.
Right.
So I want to say, I'm just trying to pull up the match card because what was it called? It was Super Showdown. So WWE Super Showdown. This was a really I want to say, I hope I'm remembering this correctly. So it was the matches. Let me see here. Where's all the matches?
I know what you're talking. It started at Royal Rumble. When he fucking pretty much helped Drew eliminate Brock, and then they had a match. Yeah, was that one of the Saudi shows, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I want to say it's this one. I could be mistaking this for a different one. But it was like this. It was Brock was approached, I believe, by Ricochet about all these things that he wanted to do, like Ricochet wanted to do in the match. And Brock said pretty much like no. He shut it down, which sounded like a dick move at first. But Brock went on to explain to him that says, I believe he's referring to maybe like Goldberg versus The Fiend or something, but he refers to another match that's on the card, and he's like, look, this match is going to take place, and that's all people are going to remember. So why are we gonna beat ourselves up for a throwaway match that nobody's going to remember and go back and watch? And which was like a brilliant thing to think about, is like he knew that their match was going to be overshadowed by bigger matches on the card. And said,
because it's about the bottom dollar. That's the thing. Like, he thinks about what's going to make money. He knows that no matter what they do, that match is, because it's Goldberg and The Fiend and all that shit.
Yeah,
nobody's going to remember their match. So he's like,
why break our bodies for a match nobody's going to think about?
That was kind of what he was saying about the match with Moxley at WrestleMania. He was like, bro, like they're never going to fucking remember this. Like,
oh wait, maybe that's the one. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
With Undertaker wrestling on the same card or something. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, but like I said, that shows the brilliance of him too. Is like, look, it's not always about having to go out and have a good match. It's like, look, preserve our bodies here, and yeah, it was like I said, it was a fascinating thing to hear, like from. Because I never really pictured Brock Lesnar. Like, you always hear about him saying, like, he always sees the bigger picture. But hearing, like, that specific example, which I thought was very captivating when I heard it.
He knows his brand well. He knows what's going to help him out.
Yeah.
And keep him still. Because look how good he looks now. Like, I think they said he hadn't wrestled in, like, 14 or 19 months or some shit.
Yeah, it was his loss to Drew McIntyre.
Right. So what was that? WrestleMania last year.
Yep.
2020. So yeah, damn near 19 months, almost. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the match was good. I like the results, and if to keep it like this, you got to have them. Roman has to do some dirty shit to beat Brock. Like you just have to. Yeah. Because even there, that crowd was split like a motherfucker.
Yeah, man. What do you think about that take that Roman is the top merch seller and has set the record now in WWE for the most merch sold as a heel?
Hell yeah. I've hated Roman Reigns his entire fucking career until 400 days ago when he came out as a heel with Paul Heyman. Like, I have literally never liked him. I thought his movesets was trash. I thought that the wet hair and all that was like fucking creepy as shit. Like, it ain't had to be that wet. Like, and the fact they just kept shoving him down our throat. Like, I never liked him at all, ever.
I heard some people talking like that was signs that you could have done a heel run with John Cena, because that was always the rumored the reason why Cena never turned heel was because of all of his merch sales.
Which I understand. And honestly, I think Cena would have done the same thing, because you got to remember that motherfucker, when he was a heel freestyling on people, it was motherfuckers wearing Mitchell and Ness jerseys to every wrestling match just because of that. That was when the last time I liked John Cena is when he was doing the freestyles and shit. So I'm like, because my thing was like, if you're gonna go full black guy, go full black guy. Like, don't just you know what I'm saying? Like, and just seeing him the different jerseys and shit, like that shit was raw. Like that was when I liked him. Like, no, like I said, I never. If you had told me 2 years ago that I'd be a Roman Reigns fan and I'd buy Roman Reigns merchandise, I'd laugh in your fucking face.
Yeah. I still haven't gotten anything, but I probably will here soon.
I had to get the head of the table shirt. I had to.
Yeah, I was in my closet today and I was like, you know what? It's been a minute since I got a wrestling T-shirt. I'm just really picky with material, you know, and right. WWE shirts oftentimes
they're never the same. I can literally pull out the last 3 shirts I bought, and each shirt feels completely fucking different.
Yeah, that's why I go to like Pro Wrestling Tees for their
right.
stuff. Is they have those options like the really soft cotton. Yeah, I like my T-shirts to be really like breezy, like breathable, like the thicker material. I'm just not a fan of.
Nah.
Yeah. I'm a pussy with heat, I think is what it is, man. I can't take the heat.
Fucking hate it. It's my time of year.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So not Super Showdown. Crown Jewel. Bound for Glory, man. Great shows. Anything else major happened this week? I know you and I both said we caught Raw. Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you anything that freaking happened on Raw. I'm not gonna lie.
The only thing I got is NXT is starting to grow on me a little bit more, and I know I gave the Tony D'Angelo shit shat on it to begin with, but I'm actually starting to like the guy. I can't even lie.
I heard, Tuesdays are just rough for me, but I did hear that the last 2 weeks NXT has been good.
Right. Yeah. And my thing too is like with Halloween Havoc, I know I'm like the only person alive that's not in on Braun Breaker like everybody else, but he definitely should win tomorrow night. Like if you're gonna go this route, okay, my thing is too, like, and after all that ratings bullshit with Tony Khan, like they only lost 100,000 viewers after dropping all their stars and sending everybody up. So this is the time, if you are gonna do it with the new people, get it out the way and get the belts on them now.
Yeah.
Like get the shit going. So I hope that he does win. Like I said, I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's deserving of it because how fast they hot shot him. But if you're gonna do it now.
It does kind of feel in like, yeah, it's happening. It really does.
Right. And it should. I can't believe I'm coming around actually saying that, especially all the shit I've been talking the last couple of weeks. But like after taking a step back and seeing like, all right, this is the direction. It just is what it is. They got Carmelo Hayes the belt. I'm surprised they didn't get somebody else besides MSK because these fuckers are getting booed at home like they're fucking heels. And then like with Braun Breaker, like now do it. Just go all in on it. Rip the fucking Band-Aid off and go.
Did you hear the rumor of why they've been booed?
I saw something, but I didn't even really pay attention. Didn't it like they fucking like pissing people off like out in the when they see them out or something? I can't remember.
Somebody came out on Twitter and posted that it was Izzy. So Izzy's been doing wrestling training and she's only like 13. And so apparently one of the members of MSK tweeted out that they thought it was a bad idea, which, you know, if Paige is proof of anything, wrestling too early and taking bumps too early can be very detrimental. Anyways.
Right.
But so the rumor goes that Izzy's mother apparently just her and a pack of like 6 or 7 wrestling fans who can be seen and heard very well in the CWC because of its small environment, just booed the piss out of MSK during their debut. And like a small fire, it just swelled and grew because you've been to wrestling shows. You know how like a group of people can start a chant and it just catches on. Like a group of people can sway a whole audience. So that's kind of like what the story is one of them offended either Izzy or her family or whatever. And so they were sabotaged on their debut and the just momentum grew of people booing them.
Which honestly, they're better as heels anyway.
Right.
Like legit, they're better as heels.
I just thought it was It was
If that's
pretty
true, that's
silly.
so fucking stupid.
I know. Yeah, that's definitely one of the weirder things I've heard this week.
But with it being wrestling, these people are so stupid. Like that, I would not doubt in the slightest that that's a real thing.
It's very plausible. I mean, to get booed that heavily, on your debut for seemingly no reason, it kind of lines up with the story. It's not like Kurt Angle when he debuted, and he got booed out the building, and it was just because this is fresh in the Attitude Era, and they introduced like a white meat, like essentially Boy Scout,
Right.
in front of all these rabid fans. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's kind of funny to me. What do you think about all this stuff coming out about Charlotte? Have you been hearing this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with everybody saying that she wants out. I mean, that's what these NBA stars and everybody's doing. You just come act a fucking fool at work and hope they trade you.
Yeah, she ain't going nowhere, man. Apparently, she's got several years left on her contract, and WWE ain't gonna. They'll put her on the couch and have her sit out her contract before they release her. Man,
I said, I mean, it is what it is. I don't know, I don't even know what to say because she's the face of the industry, really. Like you can't let her go. Like as much as we know Becky is a star, and she is, but she's looked at as just a star overall. Flair is the representative fucking of women wrestling. Like she just is. Like to me, she's the greatest of all time. Like and Becky might be as big a star, even a bigger star right now. But Flair's the greatest of all time, bro.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. Sorry, my wife was off camera. She was trying to bring a plate of food in. I'm not going to eat on air.
I thought you were fucking disagreeing. Like, you fucker, we've agreed on this.
No, I wasn't turning my head to you. No, I was trying to signal quietly to my wife to take the food back out to the kitchen. Which
you motherfucker, we agreed on this 2 weeks ago.
I totally agree with you. Yeah, I mean, there's so many stories emerging that Charlotte literally is isolated to herself. Nobody wants to work with her. Nobody's happy that she's around. Well,
I mean, in her defense, you fired her fucking fiance and her fucking dad.
Yeah,
within a span of 6 months. So
and then not to mention, she's pretty much had crap stories for the last year, and on top of that. She missed out on. Remember, she missed out on WrestleMania because of that false diagnosis of being pregnant.
Right,
the biggest show of the year, and it was the return of live fans. So, yeah.
Oh, and don't forget you demoted her to NXT the year before.
Yeah, man. So Charlotte's had a bad go of it lately. I have sympathy for her. And not to mention, on top of all of that stuff, if she gets on the internet, she's all over the place. Like, everybody's talking about her, That just can't be a good feeling. I'm not really a big Charlotte fan. I'm not going to, I mean, everyone knows, I've grown stale of the Four Horsewomen. I'm ready to move on past them. I honestly am. I think they've cemented all of their legacies, and keeping them in the title picture is just turning me off. I don't know if Bama and I we go back and forth because we are on opposite planes with this.
Yeah, and my thing is I agree with you, and I also agree with Bama. But the thing is, they keep them. It's like a chicken before the egg thing. Like they're always fucking involved, and they don't get anybody else involved. So it's how can you grow anybody else when you don't give anybody else a chance?
Yeah.
Like what they did to Bianca is a perfect fucking example. And everybody's like, let it play out, let it play out. Yeah, you could have let it play out without her getting beat fucking in 26 seconds. After you spent the last 8 months building this woman up, that, it never made sense to me. How they just completely, as soon as one of them's come back, they just say, fuck whoever we've been using for the last 6 months. We're going back to them every time. Just now, look what we're doing now. We're trading the championships off between 2 4 horsemen.
Yeah, which, by the way, I don't care who you are. That's always a terrible segment. No, it's always terrible for title champions to just willingly swap their belts.
And that's not. I don't know. The one wasn't terrible. With the New Day and.
Well,
That's like the only one that was.
because it's disrespectful to the lineage and the prestige of the belt. You know, that's kind of like where it is. You know, your belts, you're supposed to earn your belts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if it was the only reason why I don't like, I agree with that to an extent, but because of the brand split, I don't really agree with it because there is no real. Let's be honest, there is no prestige or lineage with any of these fucking belts anymore.
No, they're
because of the brand split.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like they're literally props. Like
no, I know they don't carry as much prestige, but like I said,
especially the tag titles. You know what I'm saying? And the women's title, like they don't show the things enough respect on their own. So like we should hold respect and lineage shouldn't be something that we hold against them when they don't hold it against themselves for their own fucking titles.
Yeah. And just all of the narrative and everything coming out for this Becky and Charlotte match, it's just like I said, I don't know how people are getting excited for it. Like,
right.
It's crap story. It's crap storytelling from beginning to end. It's lazy. It's extremely lazy and plays to the lowest common denominator of fans.
Right.
Yeah, it's just. We don't like each other. And we're just going to be pissy when we trade belts. I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, supposedly Charlotte said it was an accident.
Right.
I haven't watched it to
yeah,
see.
There's been a whole bunch of stuff, and there was also a report that Charlotte even pitched that she wanted to lose the belt to Bianca, which would have, been so much better.
All it is.
But even then, that story is kind of like up in the air because it could be Charlotte trying to save face or somebody trying to make Charlotte look good in this. It's just a mess. It's just a mess to.
And it still wouldn't have made no sense because they drafted Bianca to fucking Raw.
I know. Yeah, and Charlotte was holding the Raw title. It would have made sense. It would have made perfect sense to do it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Other than that, I heard Brock Lesnar. There was like Bama was telling me that SmackDown had a killer opening 30 minutes. I guess Brock came in town and just destroyed everybody.
I don't know. I didn't watch anything on Saturday that happened. Anything after Crown Jewel, I haven't seen.
Yeah, so it says that Brock came in. Let's see what happened here. He showed up. It opened with Roman and Heyman essentially calling Brock out because Brock was quoted leaving Saudi Arabia that he was going to go straight for Roman's neck whenever he got to back to SmackDown. So Brock comes out. I guess he beats a ton of people up, including I saw Adam Pearce. They did this last time. Like, remember when Seth beat Brock? He came out and he beat up a bunch of officials. I think he like F5'd Michael Cole or something. And got himself suspended. Yeah, it's just that story to get him off TV. It's a fun story and it works, you know. Kofi apparently held a coronation for Xavier Woods. Oh, I can't wait to go watch that.
Right, I'm gonna watch that as soon as we get out of here, probably.
Yeah, and Hit Row beat up 2 local enhancement talents. Corbin beat Shinsuke. I don't like that. Then there was that awkward belt exchange between Becky and Charlotte, which I've seen that because that's like all over TV.
I just hope they don't fucking Hit Row doesn't get buried in the.
Me too. How confident are you for people writing for him? I know you've got to be sitting here nervous.
Oh my god, bro! I'm like, what the? Like they don't stand a chance, bro. Like I'm just sorry. Like I hate that we always got to pull the race card, but they just don't know how to write black, not young hip black people. You know what I'm saying? Like just let them go on their own, bro. Give them one guy, just like here, give them the bullet points and get the fuck out of their way. Because I can already tell it's gonna be rascal and succotash shit coming out their mouth. Like, bro, like. And that's the thing that
they just come
like,
out and they just say lit and fam.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Swag. Or like on not another team movie, like, yeah, I'm just here to say shit like, damn, that is whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, like I already know they're gonna fuck this up. But I feel like I got enough confidence in Ty Dolla at least that he can make it work.
Yeah,
because
Top Dollar seems like the WWE really are gonna get behind him.
Well, they already showed you that he was with Undertaker and all these motherfuckers before he even was wrestled a match on TV.
Yeah.
Everybody forgets about that. That WWE Treasures, that was him doing it.
Oh wow, I forgot all about that. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody that forgets about that. Like he's already rubbing elbows with Flair, Booker T, Undertaker, all these legends already, and he held his own on camera with them. So like I knew he was gonna be a big deal. You don't just pluck a dude that hasn't even wrestled on TV before and put him in that position.
Yeah. I just if anytime I'm watching, if I watch SmackDown, all I can picture is you just waiting, like for the first drop, like for them to drop the ball. Yeah,
I said you, and the reason why you're doing that because you know damn well that's what's gonna happen.
you know, that's it's if their track record is anything to go by, you're probably not wrong.
And the thing is too is like they have so like all the champions are fucking black. Like they like to a certain extent, but those guys have enough cachet to do what they want and kind of mold what the people say. But like, and they're not doing a young, hip, urban act. They're just being kind of like turned up versions of themselves. Like, and so it's Hit Row to an extent, but like, there's no one in that writer room that gets Hit Row. I can fucking almost 100% guarantee there's nobody in that writing room that gets what Hit Row is.
Holy moly. 1 second. We might have breaking news on our show. EJ from Squared Circle Top 10 is telling me that there are reports coming out that Charlotte Flair has been released.
What?
No way. Oh, there's no way. Hold on. So this was just posted.
Is this that WWE Stan account that just posts dumb shit and gets everybody riled up in his
Maybe. Okay, so Wrestle Talk has a report here that just people are pushing to get her out, but that's not her being released. Of course people are pushing. 35 minutes ago, Adam Pacitti saying he's hearing reports of Charlotte Flair called Becky's Lynch mom a slag and no longer invited to her birthday party. Okay, so that's not news. Yeah, I don't see anything. Wrestling news. Sonya Deville reportedly wanted to fight Charlotte Flair backstage. Okay, nothing there. I'm not seeing anything yet. Like, she's not trending. Breaking news 1 hour ago. Charlotte has locked Becky Lynch in a cupboard.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
No, I don't see anything. Yeah.
I got a couple of sites I go to for shit like that. That's normally correct.
Yeah, like I said, there's no way WWE would release Charlotte Flair. They would not do it. She would go straight to AEW. She's one of the 4 horsewomen. She's going to take a large crowd with her over there.
Right.
No, they would have her sit out her contract before they release her. Says Charlotte breaking. Craig Smith of OneStopWrestling.com 27 minutes ago. Charlotte Flair has been released by WWE. It is expected when Flair's 90-minute no-compete clause expires, she will join AEW. It is expected Flair will use her new leverage in AEW to get Andrade 5 matches per month. Oh, man. I just need to read Twitter rumors, man, for these shows. This is fun as hell.
Right. That's what I said. Like, dude, what are we sure this is what what happened?
Yeah. Poor Flair right now. I'm not gonna lie. As a person, I feel for her. 36 minutes ago, Dave Meltzer, WWE superstar Dana Brooke, was reportedly very active in breaking up the tense confrontation between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. Okay, so that's nothing.
That makes sense too.
Yeah.
She's close. Supposedly she's close with Charlotte or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. EJ, why are you trying to get us all riled up, EJ? It says WWE's already denied it. Oh, man. Speaking of Andrade, let's talk about some AEW stuff before we go. So the World Title Eliminator Tournament is going on AEW, our end. This is, of course, going to culminate at Full Gear. The winner will be number 1 contender. Will be the first, the next person in line to take on the winner of Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. We saw a match. Bryan Danielson and Dustin Rhodes, honestly, put on a hell of a match. I know you're not a fan of Dustin being on TV, but
I don't get it.
In a bubble, this match though was awesome.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying he can't go, because for a damn near 60-year-old man, he can fucking go.
Dude, he can.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
he looks good. He almost looks better now than he did fucking 20, 30 years ago when he was in his heyday. But
dude,
my thing
he
is,
didn't
like,
miss a step in that match. I've watched that match twice now.
I'm gonna go back and watch it next.
Step.
My thing, what I'm saying is the nepotism shit and all the shit they try and say they're trying to get away from being like WWE. And between him and QT Marshall, I'm sorry, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Well, I will say this: we are seeing less of QT Marshall. All right, and I don't want to jinx that.
But they always do this though. Listen, they always do this though. They go back and forth on who gets more. Like, so now they hung back on QT. Now Dustin's in the fucking eliminator match for the champ. What the fuck has he done to deserve to be in that tournament?
I don't know, man.
When's the last time he's wrestled on TV?
Dustin Rhodes has a really good record.
He's 22 and like 2 or something. But again,
his record
why the fuck is he that? Why is his record that? Are you kidding me? Stop it. Stop it. Why the fuck is that 60-year-old man have a 99% win percentage?
He's a really good wrestler, man.
Yeah, again, yes, I'm not take away that part of it. Like, yes, he can go. He always was a good wrestler. Anybody with that last name, they've always been good wrestlers. They tell excellent stories in the ring. They sell good. Like, they make you feel something one way or another. We get that. That's in their blood. They're Dusty sons. I'm talking about the nepotism part of this and just all the perks because your brother's an executive vice president. This is what happens in all sports and all anything. Yeah. It's not what you know, it's who you know. He went from being on TV once a month, jobbing out to guys in WWE to now a 22-3 fucking record in 2021.
Man,
are you fucking kidding me?
It was a great match, though.
Even if it wasn't a great match, you fucking stand people.
Oh man, it was fantastic. Yo, he dropped an MFer, motherfucker, right on air. They picked it up clear.
And that's the worst part. Like, I actually like him as a character and shit. Like he's like Matt Hardy too. Like, he always kind of reinvents himself in some weird way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally nothing against him personally. It's just the fact that all the shit they try and say they're not about, like WWE, they are extremely like that because that's where all those motherfuckers were groomed from. Like, it's QT Marshall and Dustin Reynolds is pure proof of doesn't matter how good you are, as long as you know somebody, you're good to go.
Yeah, watch. They lowered the volume in the replay, so because I went back and watched it a second time, you don't hear it, but you can still hear it, just not as clearly as it was on the live broadcast. But watch for the part where he's eating Danielson's kicks to the chest, and then he fires up. He drops an MFer, and the crowd pops huge, man.
That's another thing. Daniel Bryan probably asked for that match. Honestly, like, you know what I'm saying?
Surprise me.
It wouldn't either. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to shit too hard on him specifically, even though I'm talking about him, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like,
no.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get to, just because like, dang, we're almost an hour in, and we just now getting to my promo of the week. Definitely is gonna go to MJF, man. MJF kills it on the mic this week, addressing essentially just that he's taken out because he's taken out Darby Allin for good. The promo starts off actually with Sting being questioned in the ring by Tony Schiavone for an update on Darby Allin. MJF comes out, just goes off. He compares how Sting leaves everybody around Sting falls down. He compares Darby Allin to Lex Luger, that they're both going to be in a wheelchair. But my favorite line was, oh God, I'm probably going to butcher it, but he says that Sting's brought the 80s, the snow from the 80s. Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah,
If that
man.
fucker never wrestled a match, he would still be top 10.
I'm telling you, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, he
oh
crushes
man.
it. Uh, it's all a ruse, though. It's a trap. It fires Sting up, and then of course he's jumped by Sean Spears and Wardlow. Which, by the way, AEW earned a couple bonus points with me just because of my huge fandom with South Park.
Yeah.
Later in the show, backstage, MJF is trying to mend his relationship with Wardlow because he takes all these cheap shots at Wardlow, and we can all see the betrayal coming soon. So MJF is trying to get ahead of it, and he tells Wardlow about he's put too much stress on him and this and that. So which is nice. You're not insulting the intelligence of the audience because it's an obvious thing, and MJF's character is smart. Well, anyways, back to where they earned some cheap points with me was he literally assigns Wardlow an accountability buddy, which is a great joke from an episode of South Park when Butters is sent off to a reformation camp because his parents think he's like bisexual or something. But anyways, he assigns Sean Spears as his accountability buddy, and Sean Spears delivers the most doofus like "Hey" line ever, man. I loved it. I laughed so hard, but I'm easy to please. If you bring up South Park jokes, it's gonna go over with me every time.
That just reminded me like people were about the stuff like transgender and all the stuff coming up on TV and shit. And then it was a meme. Somebody posted like, I watched Saddam Hussein ask the devil to suck his dick, and I turned out all right.
yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about. Other stuff in the show that I saw on AEW, the TBS tournament, Ruby Soho defeated Penelope Ford. It was
the host championship.
Yes. Bobby Fish defeated Anthony Green. This got some people angry. An older ex-WWE guy beating a young up-and-comer. And then also Eddie Kingston defeated Lance Archer. There was a scary spot in this match. Lance Archer goes for a moonsault, misses, and lands on his head. I can't tell if this is a work or if this was legit. He does come down on his head, but the way he's rotating, it looks like he could be fine. It looks like he could have hurt himself. It's so.
Right. Why the fuck is his big ass doing a moonsault anyway?
I'm gonna say it's probably legit, just because that's a scary spot to plan. Be like, okay, I need you to do a moonsault, but we need to do an injury angle, so I need you to make it look like you're landing on your head. So that just sounds too scary to plan ahead of time. In my thoughts, so I think it's kind of legit because Kingston won very shortly afterwards with a roll up.
That's your first cue right there.
Yeah,
roll up when something went wrong.
Maybe something went wrong. Yeah. But Lance Archer did post on Twitter later that evening that he was fine, so that's good. Yeah. Dan Lambert's team is going to challenge Sammy next week. It's just a mid feud for me. I'm not really into it, but I don't really hate it either.
I mean, I want to get into it because I love Dan so much, but like some of these guys, like they fucking suck in the ring. Like they look scary when they're hitting these guys. Like I know that they're trained killers and all that, but like their shit looks rough. Like, and I think that somebody's going to get hurt. Like
I also feel like it's like half baked.
Right.
Like, I'm with their faction, like I'm confused on what their motive and what their goal is. You know what I mean? Like, is this just built around getting Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page over? Are we trying to integrate Junior and these other MMA fighters?
Well, my thing is too, like Ethan Page doesn't need a fucking mouthpiece. He's literally given the chance could be as good as fucking MJF. Like he's a dickhead.
Ethan Page was on the mic this time. It wasn't the typical Dan Lambert. No, Ethan Page was on the mic. The pretty much the majority of the whole promo. You're absolutely right.
Well, my thing with this is this how AEW always does? They bring some other shit in, like with the Tyson stuff. Bring these people in, and then they just disappear, and you're like, well, what the fuck happened? Like, remember that part with the MMA guys and Tyson and all that? Like,
Yeah.
it just, and my thing was too, like, if one of these guys were actually going to be a wrestler, it would make more sense, because then you get him in there with Scorpio Sky and Ethan, who are actually fucking beyond talented and have trained people before. So you have them in there to kind of get the rub and kind of get some sort of teaching, and then especially across from Jericho and Hager, who Hager crosses both lines. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have them in a bubble where they can look halfway decent and not fucking kill somebody. But if these guys are just MMA guys, you're just thrown in the fucking ring. Like I said, I don't get it. Like, I love Dan Lambert's promos and shit. I think he's dope. But the rest of it, it's like they look like they could hurt some people. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, you're 100% right. You'd have to think that they're not full in like their wrestling training, like say like Ronda Rousey was, was like 100% in.
And even her shit, her first couple
learning
matches,
a couple basic moves. You hear about it all the time about celebrities not respecting professional wrestling. Kind of half-assing it. The last story that we heard about that was Bad Bunny, and everybody was praising him because he didn't do the typical celebrity shtick. He went full in, suspended his tour and everything. Couple minor things before we go off here about Dynamite. We saw Tony Nese was in the crowd, looking dapper as hell, like a job interview.
I fucking love him so much. Like, I'm always that man guy giving jobbers shit and everything, but like, I swear to God, that motherfucker, he's like, put him with somebody. I don't know. Like, he's so fucking dope. He's one of the strongest dudes for his size and one of the best fucking high flyers for his size. Now, I don't know why he can't catch on.
Well, he got some. Reportedly, he was wrestling on the Dark tapings.
Oh, okay.
So we'll catch him on probably Monday or Tuesday, whenever Elevation or regular Dark goes out. Nice. And then lastly, we called it. We called it a long time ago. Cody got his win back. He took on Malachi Black in the main event. And the thing that I think I saw spur more controversy than just him getting the win back, which we knew it was coming. I probably hate it less because I saw it coming a mile away.
Right.
But there's this spot that Malachi Black delivers the black mass and Cody collapses through the ring ropes. And
right.
Malachi can't get the pin, obviously, because Cody's in the ring ropes. Less than 10 seconds go by. Cody's back up, fine, delivering suicide dive out the ring. And so I'm seeing stuff about people really upset because obviously that black mass is devastating. I don't really know. I don't really know how to feel about it. I do feel like it's a little quick, but I honestly, like, I don't know, man. It is weird. It's a weird one. I could see an argument for both things. Like, I see, like, maybe they were pushed for time, but at the same time, also it's like, yeah, you just ate a black mass. You were essentially knocked unconscious for about 10 seconds, and then you shook it off, and you're good to go.
Executive Vice President.
I told you, man. I stand by it, man. It is Cody's goal to beat John Cena. Like, he just wants to be Super Cena so bad.
Yeah, he's always looked at himself like that. Like, he's made no bones about it. Like,
yeah.
And if he wasn't an executive vice, if he wasn't like one of the leadership and a part of the company's infrastructure, like, I wouldn't be mad at these things, because it would just be like, that's what we brought him over here for, to prove that he could be that guy for us. But to be in charge and do this, like, that's the part that I'm like, that I don't want to say rubs me the wrong way, but always has me looking at his accomplishments side-eyed.
I will give him that one thing. He took himself out of that main title picture, and he hasn't gone back to it.
See, and that's another thing too. Like, he does all these things that make you cringe, and then he does something like that. Because he's Super Cena, but he's not 35-time world champion like we thought he would be by this point.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, it's he's always walking that tightrope where I'm not kind of. I guess that's what makes me not so mad about it or take it so seriously. And because, again, when he won the TNT championship, look at all those guys he gave those matches to and put on the spotlight that never probably would have got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's always that one step forward, two steps back type shit.
Yeah.
So like it makes it hard for you to feel one type of way about it, either super love him or super hate him, because every time he does something to kind of make up for either side of it or whatever.
He's proves that us human beings are morally complex.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the show. That's everything that we caught. I like I said, me and Aaron, there was so much wrestling going on, and then this week was busy to begin with.
The reason why I didn't catch any wrestling, had a fucking asthma attack, thought I had a panic attack, found I had asthma when I'm 40 years old.
Oh man.
In the ER all night. Then
oh gosh.
We won our fucking first playoff game. My team's going to the Super Bowl on Sunday. So
yes, congratulations, my friend.
I've been coaching 9 years. It's my first Super Bowl.
That's fantastic. All right, congratulations to
yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
So there's that.
Yes. Well, hope you guys enjoyed our show. Like I said, tune in on Tuesday over on YouTube. Like I said, we're going to put up the power ranking of the draft picks. And then also Bama is shooting the next episode of his Spin the Wheel show, which let me pull up the details on that really quick before we go. Cause that's one of the funnest shows that we get to put out. Let's see, where is it, Bama? Right here. Yes. Okay. So 10 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, the Wheel of Wrestling returns. The Real Big Triss will be on. He was actually on one of Bama's other shows recently. Reek, will be on from Young Kings Wrestling, and I believe Rob, I want to say, will be on from Perched on the Top Rope. They'll be battling it out over pro wrestling trivia, and the winner will advance to All Stars Night, joining TC from Young Kings Wrestling in the All Star matchup later this year. It's gonna be awesome, you guys. It's so fun to watch, and it makes me realize just how terrible my memory is for trivia.
Me too, like,
I'm glad Bama hasn't brought me on yet, because I will bomb.
I refuse to go on. Like, I'm the only one of us who never fucking stopped wrestling. I watched that shit. I'm like, I don't remember half of this stuff. After I seen that first, I was like, Bama, don't ever ask me to be on the show.
Yeah, man. It's just going to be a dumpster fire if I get brought on there.
No. Don't ask me to be on. I need some, what is that, alpha? What is that shit? Stone Cold's always going alpha brand or something. I need to get some alpha brand going.
Yeah, man. I need my flaxseed oil. Yeah. Let me get some flaxseed oil going on over here.
Facts.
Oh, man. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us once again. You guys are awesome. Until next time, y'all have a good one.
See you guys later.